What's up, guys? What's going on? Welcome to another episode of the Dylan Shively podcast. I am your host, Dylan Shively, and you know the point of this entire thing is to help people get shit done. And what I've learned from my guest here, you're going to meet in a minute, is triggering people is one of the greatest things that I think he does to actually help them get the shit done they know or at least claim they've always wanted to do. And I don't want to steal your thunder, man, so go ahead and tell the people. I mean, I know most of them know who you are, but there might be one that doesn't.
You better know who the fuck I am. Wes Watson. I started a YouTube channel called GP Penitentiary Life Out of Prison. So I was posting on my Instagram in prison, and I showed everybody that I was operating from these daily habits that were gonna make me very successful when I got out. And what was I determining success was at that time? Just being free, being sober, being a good man, being a quality example of what a man should be in this world full of overly mothered, underly fathered fucking snowflakes that can't even get shit the fuck done. So, I mean, I was in prison getting more done than these people who can't even do it out here. Yeah. Getting my posts done online when I had burner cell phones. Everyone go to Watson_fit on Instagram and scroll down. I was posting the whole time in prison because the posts that I was putting up were helping me. They were helping me. I found out one thing. Self-actualization, which is the time that you're making the best version of you, is needed. But once you've reached that point, you have to transcend self and become the teacher. And since at that time, about 8 years, I was flawless in my execution of self. The time I woke up, the workouts I did, my reading and reflection, my diet, everything I did was in being sober, and no vices, no drugs, no alcohol, no bullshit, no porn, no nothing like that. I was flawless in my execution of these things. Why is that important? Because all these things were the things that were hardest for me to do. So what did I do? I made myself a much more disciplined individual, which that's the cornerstone to success. If everyone out here was as disciplined as me, they could do anything they want. I could slap a blueprint down in front of every motherfucker out here and they could adhere to it. They could become a multimillionaire. They could get ripped. They could have anything they want in life if they were just disciplined enough. And this is the facts. So getting shit done was what I was best at. And I came out and just showed people that no matter what, I'm going to document these days I live, and you're going to see how far I take it. They watched me get out of prison 6 years ago with $200 to living the life I live now, and I documented every fucking day of getting shit done. So I love just saying get shit done.
Yeah.
I like saying get shit done. Simple.
That's the end result. It's if you're getting shit done, you become at a stage of undeniable that you have the results. You get the results from getting shit done, not thinking about what you're going to do. But there was a thing that you said here about the time that it took you to do it. So you were consistent and clean and pretty much damn near perfect, if not perfect, for 8 straight years. Most people usually give up in the first 6 months when they see it doesn't work, the first year when it doesn't work, because they got everybody around them telling them, oh, go get a real job, go do this, go do this. And so they stop doing the things they were once motivated to do. Why do you think people give up so quick and early?
Well, the thing is, they're listening to those around them. And I'm only going to listen to people that have what I want. And there really wasn't anyone that had what I wanted out here. I didn't know that you could be a coach and fucking make this much money. I just knew what I needed to do to be proud of myself. And I said 8 years because that's when I met Instagram. So I was basically in prison that long. And, it was more like 6 years that I was perfect. And then I met Instagram, and I saw Instagram. I saw the hashtags, and I saw the people on there showing like workout pics and motivational quotes. And I said, this fucking works for me. And I said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to post on here. I want to do this. I like this platform. So I started using it to motivate people. I wasn't thinking about fucking money. I never thought about money. I was like, I want to talk to people. You guys, I was in prison and I hadn't talked to any women or any friends or anyone in the real world. And finally, I was able to post and get messages and connect to the real world. It meant everything to me. So people may see my lifestyle and they think that's what I'm after. My crowning achievement from what I've done online is the community I've created, because I've been through a divorce, hard breakups. I've been through fucking unlimited scrutiny out here from people who are low-level fucks who want to hate on high-level motherfuckers. And the only thing that kept me going was my community of people that roll with me through everything. And I want to say I love you guys more than anything, but I want everyone out there to realize if they create something like that, then they will never fail again. Because I wake up every day knowing I owe everyone. I tell everyone, I'm an offering. You're an offering. We're all offerings to the world of what's possible. Are you going to fucking squander off another day? Are you going to piss off some more moments? Or are you going to get the fuck up and prove that it's possible? One thing at a time. So first thing first, drop the drugs and alcohol. Second, get in the best shape of your fucking life. And then third, just take that better version of you to any business plan, any blueprint. You'll kill it way harder. You're not wasting time drinking or doing drugs. You're a disciplined, fucking determined, dangerous motherfucker from really killing weights, eating properly, and staying fucking focused on building the best you every fucking day. And then you take that motherfucker to any business model and you'll beat everyone else. Because why? Because they're still doing all the other shit. They're still drinking, doing drugs. They're still slow. They ain't fucking getting up early. They ain't fucking crushing workouts, killing it, sharpening their mindset. They're not operating like we will. So we'll beat them.
So another thing to break down, because there's just so much good shit that is said in every fucking minute that you have there. Going to the gym, oh, I'm motivated. I'm going to wake up here, and they make these drastic changes. You're sitting in prison then, and you're like, all right, Instagram is new to me. First, I'm going to learn it, and then I'm going to start posting about it. I'm going to learn about the hashtags. I'm going to learn everything I need to do and just do it every fucking day and document it. Where did you find the value in documenting? Like what triggers, like, I'm not going to do this just to get likes and comments. I'm doing it for my love to connect with people, and I want to document what I'm doing.
I was doing it for accountability, so I can stay accountable to myself. Everybody saw me post once, so I have to do it every day. Mm-hmm. And then it just compiled. Everyone saw me up at 2:45, so I got to be up at 2:45 every day. I was already doing that in prison, but then I brought the habits that changed my life in prison, and I made them visible online. So now I speak about it. Now I speak it into existence more. I tell everyone I do this. Now I'm held to it. Imagine if you went out there and you told everyone, I'm never drinking again. I'm never doing any drugs. I'm never missing a workout ever again in my life. I'm never missing a post, a video, a wake up time or anything. And then you just live that way for sure. How different you would be. I mean, the whole thing is those small daily wins lead to a massive change in identity. At that point, your identity changes when you've done all these things without fail for so fucking long that you're like, the next thing that you want to conquer, you're like, oh, I'm going to conquer that too for sure, because I never fail. The only thing you have done is rewrite a story in your mind that you never miss, you never fail, and anything you seek to get done gets done. Get shit the fuck done. And this is the whole thing is like, people don't realize how different you'll become from just these small daily habits. They think it's going to have to be a big thing that changes them. Trust me, you guys out there, I have all the big things. I just drove up in $1 million Mansory Phantom Rolls Royce that I don't really normally drive. I just drove it today because one of my other cars was getting stuff done to it, and I picked which Phantom. When my driver picks me up to go out to dinner or go anywhere, he says white or black. And that means, am I picking you up in your white Phantom or your black Phantom? And I get driven. Okay, if I want to drive, I drive my $5.5 million Bugatti Pure Sport. If I want to drive just a normal car, I have a lifted G-Square G-Wagon. I have a fucking a Lamborghini Urus wide body, and I have a Purisangwe Ferrari coming. But I got rid of all my other cars that weren't 23 and up. So everything else seemed old to me. I was just in a parking lot right now at the gym. These guys think they're doing something because they have a 2018 SV Aventador. Motherfucker. What is that thing, 300,000? Like, go get an SVJ at least and get the updated year, motherfucker. This is pathetic. Like, you're trying to pull up, you have a customized license plate and shit on the motherfucker. That's a 2018. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, I got out that's like the year I got out of prison, motherfucker. This thing's a relic. What is this, 6 years old? The fuck? You're not flossing, you look embarrassing. But I mean, the whole thing is I hold myself to a different set of standards in everything. If you came to my house, it's immaculate. There's no dust on anything. Both my housekeepers are cleaning both my places right now. I have a $24 million place in Venetian Island, a $20 million penthouse in Brickell, and my people are cleaning the places right now, and all my groceries are being shipped. Everything's being organized. I have everyone working for me on a fucking time clock, and everything is done perfectly. Why? Because these are my fucking standards. I need everything perfect. If you're okay with everything being in disarray, then that's what you're going to accept. I don't accept standards like that. I won't. Not for myself, not for anything around me, and that's why I got to this level. It all started with just a wake up time. I'm going to get up at this time. Then when I got up at that time, I had time to read every day. When I got that reading done every day, I got my workout done every day. When I learned macronutrients and eating a specific amount of fats, proteins, and carbs, I stayed ripped and swole. I mean, I really just broke down the details of everything. And what I tell people is you're not going to rise to your goals. You're going to fall to the strength of your systems. My systems are fucking immaculate.
Damn. Can you say that last part again? You're not going to
rise to your goals. You're going to fall to the strength of your systems. Like, people think that they're eating healthy. I'm like, motherfucker, you got an apple right there with 24 grams of fat of almond butter on it. That's not healthy. Like, the fructose in the fucking apple actually only stores as body fat once the liver glycogen is stocked. Your liver can stock 70 grams of liver glycogen. Once that liver glycogen is stocked, all sugar from fruit stores as body fat. So you're not healthy by eating that much fruit. And if you stocked your liver glycogen from previous glucose or fructose sources, it can already be full. And now you're just eating this fruit thinking you're healthy and you're gaining fat. You're just getting skinny fat and softer. And then you threw a scoop of almond butter on there that's 14 grams of fat, and you think you're gonna look good off that? You're gonna be a skinny fat piece of shit. You should have just had the egg whites with like even a fucking English muffin after a workout, or you should have had the cream of rice with the whey isolate. Like, you just don't know what you're doing. You really think you know because you think you're eating healthy, and those foods can be healthy with the right amount of macronutrients, but you don't even work out correctly to even utilize these nutrients right, and they're not even the correct nutrients for your goals. They're not even goal-specific macronutrients. Tell me why you think you know so much, because I'll break down why you don't know so much. I don't care if it's a CEO. I don't care if you're a trainer. I don't care if you're a multimillionaire. I don't care if you're an average Joe. Show me what the fuck you think's working for you, and I'll show you why you look the way you look, why you make what you make, why you're where you're at, why you think the way you think, and why you're at a low level. Because I've lapped everybody so quickly, it's laughable. You guys shouldn't let me lap you. I've been out of prison 6 years. Don't let me get a Bugatti before you. Don't let me be crushing online past you. Like, don't let it happen. Like, literally, take your fucking ass off the couch and get shit the fuck done.
Hey. I didn't realize that was going to be such a good fucking statement. Now,
it's a life motto at this point.
Now, I think what happens is people go to TikTok, they go to YouTube, they listen to 15 different people give them advice because they're getting all their advice for free.
Yeah, don't take advice from anyone you wouldn't trade lives with. And if you don't want the life of mine, then you're lying. And that's a big problem.
A lot of people do that.
They lie because they don't think they could get it. So that what they do is they're protecting their fear of failure. They're afraid that they'll never get it, even if they worked for it. So they say they don't want it. They denounce what they really desire because that's what haters do. They hate on what they gave up on. They don't even believe they could do it, so they just hate on it.
They hate on what they gave up on.
Yeah, so they're like, why would you want to be jacked? It's like, okay, if you have a choice to be in better shape incrementally every day of the rest of your life, would you choose that, or to be in worse shape incrementally every day of the rest of your life? Everyone would choose better, so start acting that way, you fucking idiots. Would you rather have more money incrementally every day of the rest of your life, or less? Okay, we choose more. What the fuck is this hard about? Why are we even debating this with these losers? Like, well, this means more. No, it's not about this or that. It's this and that. You can have a family, you can be jacked, you can have the money, you can have it all. In moments of time in my life, I've had it all. I've had the family, the money, the success, the fucking everything. And you know, most people probably would, from the outside, say that stuff like that dissolved from the successful person. It was never the successful person that dissolved it. It's always the person that came with less that ruined it, not the person that came with more. Trust me. But I can only know that from my standpoint.
And they take this virtuous standpoint of when they try to, achieve something, everyone around them says, nah, that's too much, or you're being too superficial or too materialistic. And they wind up getting beat down to the first place they originally started, which was with nothing. And then they try to tell people, oh, this is what I've always wanted. I realized I didn't want all this stuff like I thought I did. And I just want to go back to my roots. And why do people do that?
I don't even argue with them. I say, good, I'll take it all. You stay down there. The world needs losers anyways. Trust me. We need losers to measure what a winner is. Stay down there. I'll be up here. I'm not even going to argue with you. But the people, what most people do is spiritual bypassing. They're like, well, I'm just really trying to work on myself and my connection to life and to God and family and stuff. So like the money is like, they think the money's evil because it's not part of that. No, God wants you to live the greatest life you could ever fathom and show everyone what's possible with with this one chance we got at living. He doesn't want you to fucking be ungrateful and sit there hating on people who took risks that you were afraid to take. I mean, it's just, I can't even fathom why people don't realize if you're ungrateful for even 1 second of your life, you're smacking God in the face. You're looking above saying, fuck you, you know? Even if you're just ungrateful that you got a speeding ticket, that you got cancer, that you fucking went to prison. I mean, the whole thing is like, I was grateful in the worst of times. So I was able to bring that to the best of times. People who are not grateful when shit's not going their way will never be grateful when it is. It's just not possible. You have to learn it at the bottom. During times of adversity, you solidify who you are through your thoughts and actions during times of adversity. So when adversity strikes, if you don't choose to be grateful with your thoughts and actions, you will never learn how to do that when times are good. Because during times of comfort and ease, we never learn anything.
Why do you think that people, as soon as they start seeing success, I'm sure you got it all over. I don't have time to go through your thousands of comments because I'm trying to do some of my shit, but I'm sure in those thousands of fucking comments, you got people hating on what you're doing. Isn't that almost like another version of just saying fuck you to the wrong people you're putting out into the universe, or you're saying to God, I hate success because you're hating on other people's things? And that might be a reason that they're losing. One of the many.
Well, the thing is, I mean, if you have an adverse feeling, thought, or even belief on something, well, then you're going to be separated from it. The universe, God, is going to separate you from that. So if you've built an adverse thinking about being rich, then now you're going to naturally separate yourself from it. I don't want that. I don't like that. That's negative. Even if you have any type of negative feeling towards that, you will naturally be separated from it. If you have a positive connection to it, you'll naturally be drawn to it. So, I mean, it's basic law of attraction. It's basic like fucking, it's just understanding that you're creating scenarios subconsciously even that you don't even know. So I've always just thought I was worth it. Like, just even the car I drove up in here, who the fuck really believes they need to drive a full-size Rolls-Royce Phantom as a daily driving car? Like, who the fuck even pulls up in that? Most people would be embarrassed. They'd be like, why the fuck am I even doing this? Not me. I'm the person who pulls up in that. If anyone were to pull up in that, it's me. And that's the way I think. A lot of people could never have that level of confidence. Like, I'm the one that's me right there. I'm that level. What? Like, most people would never even back that. If you put them in that position, they would look awkward.
Because you think they don't value themselves enough, or think they even have the capabilities to be the person to get that?
The work instills the worth. They know they didn't do the work, so they're not worth it.
One more time?
The work instills the worth, and they know they didn't do the work, so they're not worth it. I was there every day that I made every sale, I made every dollar, and I bought that shit cash. So I'm worth it. I got out of prison. I formulated a plan. I mean, talent hits a target nobody else can hit. Genius hits a target nobody else can see. Nobody can see how I move. I move at a level and in a space that nobody can understand. Nobody makes nowhere close to where I've done. Nobody's ever done it like I've done it. I've done every sale for my company. Every single one. I wear most hats and I make more than everyone. How is that even possible? It would just be that it was so simply structured that it can run fluidly. And everyone else makes it so complex because they believe complexity is intelligence. No, simplicity is.
And to his point, by the way, how this all got set up, I was seeing his stories, I was watching his stuff, I replied to a story, and he didn't just reply back to me in the DMs. He sent me a video. I think you were like out to lunch or something like that. And you just sent me a video and you're like, hey, Dylan, this is how it works. This is what we're doing. This is what's going on. Let me know.
I run it quick. I mean, my speed to lead is everything. I answer leads so quick that nobody could even operate at the level I do because, I mean, I just want it more. And people are like, yeah, I want it. So people will tell me all the time, hey man, like I'll be your hardest worker. I'll be your best student. I want it more than anyone. I'm like, okay, well, how many months do you want to buy it? Well, I don't have the money yet. Well, definitely you're not the hardest worker. You're broke. You're actually a loser. And they're like, money doesn't determine how hard of a worker I am. Of course it does. Shut the fuck up and get out of here. Like I punk people so quick, it's crazy. I won't let nobody tell me anything because I've done everything for myself. Nobody can pull the wool over my eyes. A lot of these top dudes, I don't even know how they're where they're at. Like I'm just like, looking at their habits and who they are and what they've done, it seemed like they're just a one-trick pony who got lucky one time. Because there's no way they have the habits to sustain what they've done and do it multiple times. I've won so many times over, it's crazy. And that's just because of my habits. I'm not special. Let's get that straight. Fuck me, fuck Wes Watson, fuck all the shit. I'm not special. I just will do every day what other people won't. And that's it. Most people by this time, look at, they would have already been like, okay, I'm done doing the sales calls. I'm past that. Or I'm done closing the leads. I'm past that. I'm going to get a sales team and da-da-da, and I'm going to remove myself from the business. That's what most business guys' job is to start a business and then remove themselves from the business as much as possible. But that's not what works in this type of business. I'm a coach. I have to be part of it. I don't want to fucking have someone else coach you. I talk to you. I coach you. I close you. And that's why I make fucking 300% more than everyone else.
And I heard this on another podcast where you were talking about that similar thing. The most impressive part, you said it was like a 90% profit or so at that too.
What else would I be spending on? Exactly. I mean, literally, I just spend on my lifestyle, and my lifestyle is most of my fucking organic ad spend. I mean, would you rather run ads? I don't even buy from ads. I've never bought from an ad. Dylan, he didn't buy from an ad right now. He saw an organic post and then we talked. It costed nothing. So you guys just run all your shit so fucking stupid to where you have closers that get 20% at least. You run ads that are 30 to 40%. Now you got 40% profit off the gate just because of the way your business is set up. Stupid. I don't have any of that. I barely run any ads, and then I close everything myself. So I basically run at about 85, 90% profit.
Super strong.
And so what do? I have a massive budget that I have to expense, or else I have to pay a lot of taxes on it. So then I take that expense money and I buy the lifestyle that I've always wanted, that everybody who follows me that loves this type of shit I love wants, and that's a better way of spending your ad money. Unlike the lifestyle we all want. It's like, do you want to spend $1 million a month on ads like these dumb business guys? Or do you want to spend $1 million a month on dope ass shit and have your organic content be the ad? Oh wait, all the business guys buy their followers. So they wouldn't be spending that shit to anything anyways. Every entrepreneur out there has a fake following. Look it, this is what you do. If you want to see if your favorite entrepreneur has a fake following, do this. Go to their Instagram page, see how many followers they have. Go to their YouTube channel, see how many YouTube subscribers they have. If they have nowhere close on YouTube as they do on Instagram, they have purchased their whole following on Instagram, and they are fake, lame pieces of shit. But that's what they all do. They're not even they don't even want to talk to you. They have a fucking bot talking to you in the DM. They want nothing to do with you. This is a side hustle for entrepreneurs that already run big businesses. They're the worst coaches. They're the worst people to work from, worst people to learn from. If you're not working directly with the person, never buy anything from them. Fuck them. Ooh. You'll work directly with me because I love my people, and my people are everything to me. They're my fucking family, and they've been since prison.
I was just gonna say, from day one, when you said you got the connection with them, and it's like, I'm not gonna fucking give up on you, and you're still there with me.
I have everything. At 8:30 last night, I was meeting with one of my clients that happened to be in town just to have some coffee. Like throughout every day, I'll just do stuff with my clients. I work out with my clients. I hang out with my clients. I film edits and go to lunches and dinners with my clients. Why would I hang out with anyone else? Everyone else had flawed beliefs and flawed fucking lifestyles. Not my clients. We all live under my umbrella and what I do and what I believe. And what I believe is the shit that everyone knows they should do and everyone knows is right, but they just won't do it because they need those little selfish aspects of themselves where they're like, no, but I like to do this still. I like to do that still. We don't do that. None of my people drink. None of my people use drugs. None of my people fucking. There's no aspects of us that are still in these shady outlets.
Why do you think the people that are buying the followers and doing all this shit to try to look like they're playing, to look like they're playing the part, is that ego? Is that,
well, they just don't want to spend the time to build it. And some of them really got had. Some of them really like bought into a service where the person was like, hey, I can teach you how to build your following. And they believed that maybe there was a service that got them something quicker. So some of them got burned like that. But I mean, I've never bought a follower. A lot of people are like, you have 1.2 million followers and on this post you got 1,000 likes. It's like, bro, I post 9 times a fucking day. It marginally, it'll give me 10,000 on the first post, 6,000 on the next, 3 or 4 on the next. It'll go down to 800 if I post too many times a day. If I post too many story posts, it'll break my shit down to like 25,000 viewers instead of like 75,000 if I let my stories clean up. But I don't like letting it clean up. And I don't like posting less because I like my fucking people. I want to talk to them and I want to course correct them. So if they're slipping throughout the day, I put up a post that course corrects them. I'm not about the views and all the followers and all that. I'm about the genuine connection with my people. Like, if you can connect, you can redirect. And I'm about redirecting people at a high level.
And all of this, people would put a tag on it to say, like, you know, the biggest question is, well, how do you build your brand? Should it be a personal brand? Should it be a business brand? Should I separate them?
Your personal brand, your brand should be a reality show. It should be you, your life, and everything you do every day to make your life exactly how it is. Your business, your relationship, you, what you do, how you enjoy life. The thing people are going to read on you most is, does this guy genuinely have the answers that I need? And that's really what they're looking for. They don't give a fuck. A lot of people sit there in their content telling the middle. They're like, this in real estate, or they're like at the gym, like they're showing the actual workouts. Like they're telling the middle. That's their content. You sell the middle, you fucking idiots. You don't tell the middle. You show them the beginning, you show them the outcome, and they buy the middle. You don't sit there having your content be the middle. What is the matter with these people? If you wanted to confuse all your buyers and get them not to buy, then keep showing them what they're going to have to do all day. Don't show them what they have to do. Show them where you were, show them the outcome, and then you sell them the middle. They say, well, if I buy your program, can I get the outcome? Of course. And then they buy the middle. That's the program. You don't show it to them all day. There's no reason to. I give them the daily habits that make me a better man, but then that's how I prep them to be ready to do the work. So I have a blueprint that's going to change their life. I show them the daily habits that's going to make them better. They do that for free. Then when they're ready, they're a more confident, better man who believes in themselves. Then they buy the blueprint. They adhere to it better. That's why I have better results than everybody. Because I prep them for free with my content when most coaches don't even show anything of value on their page. They just kind of like a highlight reel or them speaking about shit that doesn't really matter about business that nobody needs to know yet, you know?
It's just like buzzwords. They're just throwing shit out just to get people temporarily motivated.
I mean, motivation consumers are the worst. I want you to really have a daily set of steps that changes your mindset and flips your identity from I can't do it to I can. I do. Not even I can. I've been doing it, motherfucker. Most people come through my funnel or through my DM and they're like, I'm like, are you ready to coach other people? And they're like, I'm already doing it. I'm just not getting the outcome I want. Okay, well, let me show you.
In that case, when you have those kind of clients versus the motivation kind of clients, you're saying the key difference is they're already doing the shit. You're just taking them to the next level to show maybe the 1 or 2 things that they're missing.
That's it.
That's all it takes.
Yeah, once I make the person, then the blueprint's simple. Every blueprint for success is very simple, but we're complex. Beck, why didn't you get the post up? Well, I was like my aunt, and my uncles and all my family, they kind of like don't like my content when I talk bad about or when I speak about my past or whatever. There will be a personal development issue that stops people from doing the work that I need them to do. It's never the fact that they don't understand it. Everyone knows how to get up at 4 a.m., but what stops them? They tell themselves they didn't get enough sleep. I mean, and this is a personal development issue. They don't realize that like they needed to just go to bed earlier, or they needed to look at that doctor who's telling them they need 8 hours of sleep. And you realize from the dawn of time, humans didn't get a fucking Sealy Posturepedic that's comfortable as fuck and a perfect 8 hours. And if they did, it's because that's why they're soft nowadays. Yeah, these warriors and these men who went to war that were the hardest men in existence, yeah, they always got 8 hours on their perfect bed. I bet that's how they did it, right? Soft ass motherfuckers.
So how do you know when you flip the switch to somebody's mentality, or to like you've actually helped them?
I don't care if I do or not. I just keep going. So I live and let witness. I don't care if you follow it. I don't care if you keep going. Like I said in content, I don't care if you die in front of me. I'm going to keep going. The only thing I have to do is be the answer. As the leader, I have to lead from the front. I have to be the answer. If I slip, they fall. I don't worry about what they're doing. I make sure I don't slip. If they fall a million times, I still don't slip. They'll get it when they're ready. And I'll never stop the rest of my fucking life. That's just what I owe. I'm that person. I'm the person who stood up and said, I'll document this the rest of my life. I don't care if I make money, lose, win, whatever, I'm going to document it. And so like, even when my relationships fail and everyone's like, see, look, it's like, see what? I mean, relationships fail. What do you mean? It happens all the time. I don't blame nobody. Want to know what most people saw? That when something tragic happened to the person, they kept going, and you could read on their face they weren't that fazed. Maybe that guy possesses an answer that everybody needs. Everybody who has a small downturn of events and just cracks and starts drinking and throws their life away. I mean, maybe Wes Watson has the answer. Of course he does.
Why do you think people always default back to the shit that had them in the shitty place they were trying to get out of?
Well, because they're always looking for happiness in the same place they lost it. So they look for happiness always in the same place they fucking lost it. They're like, this time a drink's gonna make me happy. And it spirals out of control. But I mean, it's comfort. It's habitual construction. It's neurological pathways that were created that are easier to travel down than ones that haven't been yet to be created. So like I teach people habitual construction's everything. You're a product of your habits, nothing more. So I mean, once we dial in your habits, now we've created new neurological pathways that are easy to travel down when they used to not even exist. So for someone to really believe that they could get up at 2:45 every morning and go to the gym, be squatting heavy by 4, that's not even a thought that can travel. That's not even a thought that has a pathway to travel, because it's not even a belief that they could do that. Once you've done it so much, it's easier to believe that you can do it than that you won't go do it. So the whole thing is anything you start is going to be difficult. But at a certain point, stopping becomes harder than starting ever was. And that's the pro mentality, because amateurs are interested, pros are committed.
All right. I just had to digest that for a second, because a lot of this shit hits me too. Yeah. I'm not Mr. Perfect. I'm learning myself. I told you, even like, you know, I'm at a good place. Things are going well. We're doing a lot of good shit. But fuck, I'm
just fully committed, 100%. There's no way. I'm just so fucking stubborn. The only thing you won't see me is miss what I got to do. And with that way of thinking, I'll beat everybody.
I know this is a very generic question, so it's not going to be just a direct answer. Where you got probably years ago, you knew you were going to get somewhere, and I know there's no end cap or there's no like end goal, but what is in your vision next of where you're headed?
The crazy thing is sometimes I hope I lose everything just so I could prove to everyone I could get it back again. I mean, sometimes I want to go back to prison to show everyone that I could go to prison and come back out and do it again, motherfucker. I mean, I don't really have a high goal right now of like, I need a jet, I need more places, I need this. I have everything. I literally go back and forth from my places that are 10,000 square feet on different sides of town and drive any car I want, eat anywhere I want, do whatever I want. I think that the only thing right now that can measure anything to me is the test that I'm going through right now. So having a failed relationship right now that maybe I could rekindle is kind of a good test for me. Or the dating pool in Miami. Fuck, a hell of a test. What the fuck? It is a shit show. Whatever is on the end of the horizon for me is not success right now. What's really gonna validate me to myself right now is challenges. So if I'm challenged in some sort of way, that's the only thing that's gonna mean anything to me. So I don't wanna go back to prison. I don't wanna lose everything, but anything could happen. But whatever happens is, the test is that I'll keep going. And so that's the answer. Sometimes I'll have slow business days or months or stuff will happen that's not directly desirable in my life. And I'm like, perfect. This is exactly what you need to prove to yourself, is that no matter what, you'll keep going, because that's the only answer that's needed. And in all reality, it's harder to keep going when you get your way. When everything's perfect and the wife's there, the kids are there, everything's perfect, everything's awesome, you made the money, you'll create a fucking problem. Something will happen. You will create it. It'll be something. Something won't be adequate, and that's fine. Create more problems. Be upset. Be okay with seeing shit that's not done right, and do it better, do it bigger. I mean, I honestly, I never accept a backstep. But if I do take a backstep, I only see it as forward fucking motion because of the wisdom I gained.
So most people avoid their problems. They put it to the side and they're like, I'll deal with this later, or I can't deal with it. And they're just going through the day, which is almost kind of like taking a step back, because what you're saying is if you lean into the problem, you'll find the solution and start to eventually not become obsessed with it, but you'll start to learn everything that you're desiring, everything that you're wanting, everything that you at least think you want, you will find on the other side of solving the problem. Is that fair to say?
100%. I mean, the thing is on the other side of our weakness is where we should be working. We should be creating strengths on the other side of our weaknesses. So everyone has both sides to them. I'd be more of a direct individual who operates from a lot of compression. And then a lot of people are the opposite. They're real compassionate. They operate all up in their feelings. I'm valuable in creating more compression, more desire to fight, more desire to win, more desire to be strong for the people who are compassionate. And then those people help me be more of a normal person in society and have more compassion. Because I was in prison forever. It's murder. Like literally, California prison is gangland. It's straight murder. Like fucking every day someone gets stabbed. This is how it works. You go out to yard, everybody knows someone that there's work that needs to be cleaned up with the essays or the white boys or something. And at the end of the yard, every time, you know the yard's gonna go down and 2 or 3 guys start stabbing another guy. Every fucking time. Or they just start whooping his ass, whatever. Because of a drug debt or something like that. You become so numb to where you're like, oh, was that guy's eyeball hanging out? Like, what the fuck was that? Like, yeah, hell yeah, that was crazy. Motherfucker got him with that spork, One time we were going to Chow, and we were at Delano, and this paisa, these paisas were warring, and it was over some dope routes, And the paisa was like, one guy had a spork, the other guy had a knife, and the guy was coming up at him, and the guy just with his fucking spork fucking gouged him in his cheek, and it popped the dude's eyeball out, and it was on his cheek. And then the guy was chasing him with a knife, and we're in like 6 block, and like they come running by through to 5 block, and I'm like, was that guy's eye hanging out on his fucking face? We're like, that was his motherfucking eye. And I'm like, oh fuck, we gotta go eat, bro. They're gonna lay the yard down. We're not gonna get this chicken. We don't give a fuck, bro. We're just so numb to it. I've seen plenty of people just killed in cold blood on the yard, and it's like, it doesn't even faze me. Like I'll still just go get my shit done. And people out here would just be like fucking floored by it. Like, oh my God, trauma. I hate that fucking word. Like, you have trauma from what? I don't even believe in trauma. I believe there's a high frequency state where you've worked hard enough and elevated yourself enough to look down on anything like it doesn't matter. And I feel like there's a low frequency state where everything seems like Mount Everest. That's all I believe in. I don't believe that any of your past affects you, because I've had the worst shit happen to me and I don't pay attention to it. Only losers pay attention to the past. That's it. That's all they do. They're like, oh, it must be this is why I suck. No, you suck because you're not working in the moment.
It's even down to the bullshit. So I'll tell you a little bit of this. I do some classes in advance for my business and stuff. And there will be times people will show up late or not show up at all. And they'll say, oh, it was because it's going to rain today and I couldn't come outside. And there was like this whole reasoning behind why they couldn't do it. They were originally going to come to get the content so they could make their stuff better, but they opted out because of the potential what's going to happen with the weather. Where did people get so soft with that? How does that happen?
I mean, they're just talking themselves out of everything. I mean, it's just, I talk myself into it. I'm kicking the door down to get it. And a lot of people, they're just really afraid. I mean, the whole thing is it's ego. Like, the ego protects us from shame and embarrassment. The ego used to protect you from actual danger. Like, the ego's supposed to protect you. The ego now, since there's no like immediate danger in our lives and society, the ego is protecting people only from shame and embarrassment. So their ego is stopping them from actually performing. They're like, I'm gonna look stupid. Everyone's gonna think it's dumb. I don't know what to say. And that's just what's going on. Their self-talk is being governed by their ego, and it's talking them out of everything that they want.
What's your self-talk like?
My self-talk is, it's mine. Nobody else can stop me. Make it harder. I'll still win. You can't beat me. I'm the motherfucker who's made for this. I've beat everybody. Look at that pussy. He's nowhere near where I'm at. I was up earlier than this bitch. This motherfucker ain't even close to me. What the fuck is that guy wearing, a stainless steel watch? Jesus Christ, make some money, bro. Like, I literally pick everything apart. I pick myself apart. I'm like, you fucking fat little bitch. What the fuck's the matter with you? Every day I wake up, I'm too fat and I'm broke, you know? I'm fat and I'm broke every fucking morning. I need to be more ripped. I need to be bigger. I need to be swoller. I need to have more money. People are like, that's awfully superficial. I'm like, no, the habits that I operate from to make the better man are far superior than yours. And they're like, what do you mean? Like, I'm more centered about this and about that. It's like, dude, you don't realize that your conscience is the authentic voice of God. Like, you think you're just listening to God because you read the Bible? Your conscience is God speaking to you moment by moment. And if you're not listening to what God's telling you every moment, you're not doing anything correct by God. And he's telling you right now what you need to change. And everybody, most things they need to change is stuff in their health, stuff in their behavior, and stuff to push their life and their families forward. And they're just not adhering to it. And the whole goal is to write a story and live the best life possible so you can inspire people to live better lives. If we all listen to our conscience and operated from high frequency states by abiding by our conscience's call, which is, like I tell people, conscience congruent living turns confusion to clarity. That's really just living by God's wishes. He's telling you in your heart what you need to do. And if you lived in this manner, we would solve every problem on this earth right now. It would take us like one day to solve every problem on earth. And we would solve it right away by just us all living in accordance with our conscience. But nobody wants to. Everybody's living selfishly, and they're living with scarcity. Like, if I do that, then I'm going to lose what I have. I don't even care if I lose what I have. Every day I put online everything I have to make sure everybody learns from everything I've done.
So it's actually more selfish to not put your shit out there, because there could be people that need what you have or what you're saying. And it's like you're almost making the choice to just say, fuck you, I'm not doing it.
Unless you're not the man you always needed. And that's what my goal is for everyone. To create the man you always needed in your life. And then, once you've created the man you always needed, share it with the world. So I tell people your life's purpose is to create the individual you admire in every way and give that person to the world. So that's the goal. Like, so if you're not ready to get on camera, it's because you haven't done enough of the work yet. Self-actualization. Maslow's laws of life and growth needs is self-actualization, then self-transcendence. The actualization phase is creating the best you. Transcendence is to give it to the world. So even I wrote this quote on my rack at 4 a.m., 7, 8 years into my sentence, and it was our life's purpose, to create the man we admire in all ways and give that man to the world. And then I started reading from other top people like Maslow, and he said that it was self-actualization, then self-transcendence would create a fulfilling life. And this would be our growth needs as humans. That's the same thing I said, but just in different form. All these philosophers say the same things. It's like, who has the greatest result, though, is who you should listen to. So don't just read from your favorite author, turn his book around. If Jordan Peterson is really talking about you have to be capable of extreme violence, but willingly forego it, is he just an observer of this thought, or has he actually participated in it?
Observer of the thought or actually participate, and that makes all the fucking difference, because you could speak from experience.
I'm on the fucking field. I'm not in the stands. I wrote the book, and I wrote a book, and it sold 4 million fucking copies. So
damn.
Yeah.
What, you want to plug the book?
Just non-negotiable by Wes Watson. I never plug anything really, because I don't give a fuck. Like my whole thing is they'll find it when they need it.
Yeah.
It'll find them when they need it.
Yeah. It'll find them when they. Damn. I'm so happy this shit is recorded. Like. Anyway, all right. So let's go back to the one section where you're talking about self-actualization, because that's a term to be honest, I've never heard before.
It's just creating the best you. It's that selfish phase where Dylan has to work on him and he's got to focus on him. And for the end result of bringing a better man into society, what better thing could you do for your kids, for your family, for your friends, for your employees, for your followers than create a better you? What the fuck else would you do? Everyone's like not engaging in personal development. And then they're hating on money, but they spend their whole day working for pesos. And then they're not understanding that they're not bringing a best them with their hours on this planet. The first thing Wes Watson does is create a better him. And then he goes and gives that person the world, and then he makes the money. And he's not guaranteed any money. The first thing all these people who talk shit on my money do is go get money for themselves. And then they never work on themselves, and they never share anything with anyone else. I think they got it all backwards. I actually know they do. I pegged them all to a T. They're all fucking idiots.
How did you, I don't even know, how did you just be able to articulate that way? They just, dude, I think you're so used to it, but for the listeners and even myself, man, the delivery is just right there. Like, it's not even a thought. It's as soon as you get to something, like, this is exactly what it is. How are you just able to pin? Is that life experience?
Is
that?
I mean, one of my favorite books was from Rudolf Steiner, and he said, "We not learn through study. We learn through life. Everything that I've really talked about, I've lived to a T." Like, I used to actually, one of the books I read, he said, all actions, all thoughts, all energy is an offering to cosmic beings, meaning God. And so everything I did for so many years, I'm like, is this right? Is this right? What do you want from this? What do you want me from this? It was a constant conversation when I was in prison with God. And I didn't know at the time, I thought I was speaking to the universe, because I kind of had an ego about saying God. Because I was raised like to where it was like, is that right or is that wrong? Is it Jesus? What is it? And I just was like, whatever. I don't care anymore. It's God. I don't have to say the universe anymore. I'm past that. I really believe we're created by God, you know. And so now it's like the whole time, everything I was doing, I was saying, are you proud of me? Are you proud of me? Am I doing right? Am I right now? And since for the longest time, I was just being created as this vessel, as this advocate to bring this message to my people. And my people are us, bro. The people who fell into the drugs, fell into the alcohol, the people who were overthinkers and didn't understand why they sought a different lifestyle, why they did sell drugs or become entrepreneurs, because they didn't fit into the 9-to-5. A lot of normal people that get in my content be like, why are you glorifying prison? And then the other people are like, he's not. He's glorifying the fact that he made it out of something that was a mistake that could have took his life. What the hell is the matter with you? Normal people really won't understand me, or they'll try not to, because they haven't done anything that truly validated them, and they feel inferior, you know. Though there's only two reasons why we lash out to people, and it's because like we feel inferior, or we feel insecure, you know. And it's like they're making us feel a certain way. They're triggering us, and that's the whole goal. The healer doesn't heal individuals. He triggers in them their ability to heal themselves. And so I'm gonna make you watching me so uncomfortable that you're gonna make a choice. Your choice is either gonna be to change or to hate on me. It's gonna be one or the other. And that's why having 1 million followers and all these people watching me, it's obviously half and half. It's even worse than that, because few are going to take the action. Even few are going to stick to it. The ones that don't stick to it are going to revert back to being haters because it didn't work and it was this and that, but it did. They just didn't do it. And the whole point is like, we know exactly what works for us, and we know exactly what we're not telling the truth about. And I only report above. I don't report to anybody down here, not one person. People are like, who do you look up to? Nobody. I look up. That's it. I know the exact answers.
Was it a moment? Was it a thought? Was it something? Because it
was a quote. I read a quote that said, our conscience is the authentic voice of God. And I never went back from that. And I said, okay, my intuition's correct. And I fucking, like, it chokes me up. I'm like so powerful, bro. It's crazy. Like, I can do anything. I will do anything because God is directly talking to me, and I know it. And these motherfuckers will see numbers on a fucking gas pump. They'll be like, 444, God's speaking to me. I'm like, motherfucker, you need to see numbers to know that? Your conscience is God, motherfucker. Accept it. It's not 1111 speaking to you, you fucking idiot. Every time your conscience tells you to do something, that is God. He's saying, stop drinking. Something bad's going to happen. You need to stop now. And if you don't stop, something bad's going to happen. And the louder it gets, the more intense it gets, the higher the calling gets, the greater that you have to expedite the call of the conscience, or something's going to happen. And good or bad, if your conscience is telling you right now, make that move, start the business, make it. It means there's a timeline you're supposed to hit. He's telling you, like, there's something, if you make this call, then the person's going to answer right now. Then you're going to go down to that coffee place. You're going to have this conversation with someone. It's going to be your first sale. You're going to be so excited that you're going to keep going. You're going to change your family's life. Like, there's events that he's trying to tell you that are in play. And if you don't start now, you're going to miss them. And I never miss. So I hit everything perfectly. Even when I leave here, I'll go sit somewhere and I'll coach on the street. Even whenever I'm drawn somewhere, I just go. So an event happened the other day. I was drawn to this gym for some reason. I had already worked out and I wasn't going to work out. I was just drawn to the gym downstairs elevation. And I pull up and I park. And this girl's walking through the parking lot looking at cars. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, I know what this is. And then I roll down the window. I say, come here. And she's like, what? I'm like, who are you looking for? And she's like, and I'm like, who are you looking for? She's like, my boyfriend's car. I'm like, what's going on? And she's like, he kicked me out and I'm locked out and da-da-da. And I say, hop in. And I was going through a similar relationship problem at the same time. I said, why are we doing this? I said, I'm here looking for my partner too. And she's ducking me. Why are we both doing this right now? Why are we chasing people who aren't choosing us? And she's like, what the fuck? And I'm like, you know, she's like, what do you do? I'm like, I do this. And she's like, what do you mean? I said, I was drawn here for a reason. I think it was to meet you. And then the girl's like 22 or something. And she was doing OnlyFans. And her boyfriend does that too. And it's been a problem that they're going to where her dad figured out and is so mad at her because his little girl is fucking getting naked on camera and shit. And I said, no, stop this. We're gonna change this. You look pretty fit. You work out, right? Okay, well, I'm gonna put you on game. And I showed her how to post, how to charge, how to do everything, how to start her fitness business, and she hasn't missed once. And going through this breakup, she's been able to post her wake up every day, to speak to her followers, to create a community, to show accountability, to tell her dad she's changing her path, and to really course correct because she met Wes Watson in the parking lot. He was going through the same thing as her. He saw something in her, and it was just God who told me in my heart to go there. And I met this person. I said, here, you're going to do this. And she will be successful if she keeps going. But the main success she got was going through this breakup. She had herself. She had her back. She showed up every day for that camera to show everyone, I'm up, I'm strong. I'm validating myself. I'm not running back to the same problem. And that meant a lot to me, but I do that all the time. I go sit somewhere where God told me to go, and someone shows up. And they're going through something, and they ask me, I'll probably be flashy or something in my car or something. They'll be like, what do you do? I'm like, I do this. What's up with you? And then I talk them through their problem, and I show them the solution.
On the spot.
On the spot, every day. I do
And
it
it just
somewhere.
fucking comes to you because you're figuring out in that moment, this is why I was supposed to be here.
I've done everything everyone's trying to do, and I've been everyone that everyone is. I've been every person that everyone's being, and I've done everything they want to do up until this point. Everything. I've overcome everything. I've done everything. I've been in your shoes in every way. I've been at the bottom on drugs. I've been at the top super sober. Both places had problems. I've been in a cell with nothing and found peace. I've been in a mansion with everything and fucking hated my fucking life. And they're like, how? It's like, well, because I chose to release what I didn't want to possess at that moment. So at that moment when I'm in a mansion and I have millions of dollars and everything and I could go drive around in a Bugatti and I'm hating my life, Wes, what caused that? And they think it's a totality of things. No, in that moment, I was releasing hatred. I was releasing hatred to someone who did something to me, I thought, and I was victimizing. And so I'm like, fuck, and I'm hating that moment. As soon as you realize to release what you wish to possess, you can correct any moment. And we don't have a bad life like people were thinking. And that's not a bad... I wasn't of a bad creation of moments to where I hated my life. It was just one moment I chose to hate on. So as soon as you realize that like you're not having a bad life, you're having a bad moment, now you can course correct at all times.
And so when you're sitting there in that moment and you're figuring out like, fuck, this is what's happening, and you make that switch, what is it? Something physical you're doing?
Well,
is
you have to act your way into positive thinking. So usually you just do a quick workout while solidifying the thought. So during times of adversity, through your thoughts and your actions, you solidify your core beliefs. So at that moment, I'm facing adversity, which is I'm sitting there hating on a situation that's taking place and causing a lot of pain in my life. And so I decided to go into a workout. I decide to flip the moment by thinking positively about it, by sending to that person or that event what I want to feel. And now I can flip the moment into feeling how I want to feel. And I mean, I've done that in prison with nothing. I mean, everyone's just really in a state of desire at all times for a different moment. And I'm living in the moment more present because I've actually created a life that I'm proud of. Like, you'll never be present until you're proud of your presence. And this is overall life presence. So someone who didn't work out today, someone who didn't do all the things to create the life they want, there's no way they can be proud of themselves in that moment because they're not aligned with creating what they want, what they desire, what they're supposed to do. It's not even what you want, it's what you're being called to become, you know?
But you got to be willing to tap into that and put the ego to the side.
You have to be honest. Well, the self-mastery depends on self-honesty. And most people aren't honest enough to even do the work, so.
Fuck. Well, guys, I know we're getting here to the end. I would say, do you want to drop anything else or any last nuggets? But
I just want to tell everyone to get it the fuck done. Get shit the fuck done. I mean, I really want to tell you guys to get shit done because that's all that matters. We don't have an education issue. You don't have to learn a bunch. We have an application issue. You need to apply what you already know. So, first step, listen to your conscience. See what God is telling you to do. Then fucking do it. Then he'll supply you the next thing. And fucking do it. Then he'll supply you the next thing. He's not going to show you the whole path. That wouldn't be faith. He's going to give you one thing at a time. When you do each thing, he's going to illuminate the next step. The path illuminates as you walk it. The path does not be ever shown from start to finish. You have to earn the right to see the next step.
Fuck. Guys, you see why I flew out here. You see why I invested, because this is the, top that I've ever met of somebody who just actually has the receipts of getting shit done. This was worth, and by the way, if you went through this whole entire time and by the end of it, you didn't find one fucking thing out of this, you wasted your time. Go back and keep listening, take notes, do whatever it is you have to do, because I've never watched a YouTube video from someone else, a TikTok, a podcast, nothing from somebody else that has been able to just drop this much information on somebody and has the receipts of proof to say, I know it fucking works because I did the work and here's the result. Bro, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, bro.
So much fucking nuggets here. Guys, until next time.